Well. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Ben. How are you?
Well, I'm as okay can be considering the circumstances of the last couple of days. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Apart from the fact I seem to be
Good.
developing a kind of allergy to the evening.
Well, maybe it's just an allergy to, life.
Well,
Maybe you've got to that point.
but I'm fine all day. It just seems to be the evening. And then my eyes start streaming. I end up sniffing and sneezing, and I take an antihistamine, and I'm usually semi-okay. I didn't have a cough.
Shalini in the chat asks, how's the cough, John?
I don't have a cough. I'm going to have a cough now, aren't I? Now that she said cough.
Well, maybe. And also, happy birthday to our dear friend Dreadeye over there in Wales. You're in Wales. Happy birthday. In Wales. And also, I'd like to ask tonight, how does my audio sound? Because I've been spending the last few hours working on it, making it sound a lot better, hopefully. And it's coming through a different system, and it's all very complicated.
People tell them it's okay.
But it should. I mean, if people have noticed, I'm not eating my microphone. It's really far away from me. It should sound really good. It should sound really good. I'm using an OBS virtual cable, Adam. It should sound pretty good. Anyhow, yeah, last couple of days, I apologized that we didn't do a show last night. The cat that we adopted nearly a year ago, she had to be put to sleep yesterday afternoon. And yeah, it was tough. And it was very tough, especially on my wife. And I had my little cry, because you got to, right? It's family pet, it's a member of the family. And then I had to be strong like man of the house, so that everyone else could be upset. And then we buried her this afternoon, so we know she's...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What are you laughing at?
It was just yesterday. And I was trying to be sensitive because, I wasn't unsensitive to you when you
you weren't.
spoke and told me about it. But when you put in the message that you had to go to B&M and get a large pot, right?
Get a large pot, yeah.
Yeah. I thought, holy fuck, I knew things were tight, but I didn't think they were that bad.
Yeah.
That you were going to cook and eat the cat.
No. Jesus Christ, no.
I thought, I'm not going to mention it. I thought, why is he putting it in a pot? And then he says, I'm going to bury it. Yeah, I've seen it now, right? But yesterday you didn't post any pictures of the planter. It's not a pot, it's a planter.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing, isn't it?
I thought, he's going to buy a big pot so he can cook the cat. And then I thought, then he said he was going to bury it in the pot, and I'm like, but if he puts it in a pot, it'll just decompose into like soup, And I thought, what is he thinking?
Now you understand, right?
Now I understand now, and I must admit I'm quite relieved.
I would like
Both
to
for
respond
you
to
and the
Amy.
cat.
Yeah, I'd like to respond to Amy in the chat. I do not believe the eagle has landed. No, it hadn't by the time I came out here, anyhow. So hopefully tomorrow. We shall see. We haven't had a knock on the door, and I haven't had a message from the wife saying there's something for you here. So unless it was going to John, who knows? Anyway,
There's nothing
but hopefully
here.
tomorrow.
Nothing's arrived here.
No, nothing. So hopefully tomorrow, and then we are live tomorrow. So if something does arrive in the daytime, I shall open it. I shall open it on the show to see what it is.
Okay,
and
cool.
we should continue from there. You know what? Actually, before we say anything else, Amy does not know how lucky being in the United States she's got it. Have you ever heard of a shop called Spirit Halloween, John?
Yeah, I think I've been to one when I was in Vegas.
Yeah, they pop up, right? They're
Yeah.
pop-up shops, Spirit Halloween. And I am so jealous that she should be able to go to a Spirit Halloween. I'd love some of the products they sell there. You just cannot get in this country at all. There's just no way. So, yeah,
Yeah, it
I
was
think
cool.
next year, Amy is gonna. I'm gonna send her personal shopping for me in Spirit Halloween.
Are we allowed to tell them that what we're thinking of doing? Not the names, just the thought, or are we keeping it
Yeah,
quiet?
yeah, of course.
Like,
No, of course.
So people,
It's time, isn't it?
yeah, we're going to rebrand, because while the name I think has served us well, it's done its bit, and we are no longer those people. That sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But you know what I mean. I think it's too activist, and Ben actually agrees with me. So I think
I
we're
do.
looking for something more mainstream. And
Well, like,
when I say mainstream, I don't mean that in a bad way. Just
no.
Middle of the road stuff.
Well, this is the thing, right? We're on a platform with 2 billion daily active users.
Yeah.
And we want to appeal to a broader spectrum of people. Don't get me wrong, Shalini. I like the name. I love the name. I love the name of the brand. But we want to appeal, no, not mainstream like that, Shalini. God.
Mainstream, like sensible, like what we actually are. Because we are quite sensible, believe it or not.
Well, we try to be.
Yeah.
We certainly try to be.
And let's be honest, Ben. Even since the ill-fated days of the UFP, I was always the one saying, we are not an activist organisation. Is that correct?
No, we're not. Amy says, I'm off like a prom dress.
What do you mean she's off?
No.
Like why?
I think she's going.
Oh, she had enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. All we're
going to
saying
change
is
the name. We're still going to be the same people.
exactly the same shows, exactly the same everything. It's simply for the purposes of search algorithm and stuff like that, right? And hopefully showing up more, because we feel like we're being suppressed. We really do.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason. We even get promoted, like we got promoted on the front page yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, with the Hamza.
And still, you know, there is some kind of, I'm going to use the word fuckery afoot. There is some kind of fuckery afoot where we get algorithmically suppressed. It doesn't matter what we do. We go live, we get hammered with demonetization on every single show.
Every live stream goes yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. But the piss take is that we put in an appeal and 99% of them
99.9%
get turned green.
They do.
Get turned green.
Yeah.
So there was never anything wrong with them in the first place, except for the fact that any revenue that we might have earned in the first 24 to 48 hours, they've stolen.
Yeah. And that's when we get all our hits in the first 24 to 48 hours. So.
And it's just getting so frustrating. So we're wondering if we refresh something, you know, change the name, maybe things won't be hit so much. I don't know.
We can give it a shot.
It's, like I say, all we can do is give it a shot. We do have some things in mind. We won't tell you just yet because we haven't actually come to a definitive conclusion. But
on the plus side, what we are going to do as well is we're going to name the shows. So, for instance, like the Monday, Wednesday show will have its own name. The Friday show, I think, will still be called All In. And we've already got the rabbit hole, and we've got extra carrots. So we've got all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then Ben's got a name for his interview shows that he
can tell them that.
You what?
So the interview
shows
from going
don't tell them in case people try and steal it. Let's secure.
I've even made a little intro.
Are you going to play your little intro?
I can't, can I? I can't play my little intro. I have the ability to do so. But
Well, you should have sent it to me. I'd have played it for you. Are you going to are you going to do that Ron Burgundy thing? You know, like where you're going to go?
I think so. I do. I think so.
Or maybe even chance a wink, you know, kind of.
Right. Anyway, that's enough preamble. Introduce the show.
Anyway, good evening, one and all, and welcome, denizens of the interwebs, people of the future, present, and the past, to Chasing Dissent, episode 261.
Something.
261.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
I'm just thinking how much work there is to change all the logos and things.
I mean, people don't understand how much work goes into things. I mean, the hours that I've just put in just to make my audio sound the way it does, you know.
And the website.
It's all a lot of work. Beats and Tape says, "Pay me $1 million and a show, and I'll what? I'll do a show every week for you guys." Well, guess what? We don't make £1 a show.
How are we meant to pay you when we don't get any money? You're supposed
we
to be
we don't make £1 a show.
We're the ones
providing. If you want
we're providing the entertainment, value for value. If you appreciate our value, you should give us a little bit of value back. That's all we ask.
But what I'm asking you right now is, if you are watching this, please hit that like button and that share button if you have the ability, and let's get people in. Let's grow this, because that is basically the ultimate goal of everything that we're trying to do, is grow it, so that more people come and more people can get involved in the debates and
if you've
get a different perspective on things.
If you've got Chasing Dissent merchandise, it could be a collector's item.
It's going to be worth money.
When we are big in Bulgaria.
In Bulgaria. That's right. In Bulgaria. Anyway, John.
We are big in Bulgaria. Bulgaria has annihilated the competition. There was 160 downloads this month in Bulgaria, and only 11 from the UK.
You know as well as I do that every Bulgarian download is actually Russia. You know that.
I don't know. But anyway.
You know that.
Anyway, it's Andrew Tate. He's not in Bulgaria. He's in Romania.
He's in Romania. Although he probably is using a Bulgarian VPN.
Probably.
Anyway, John.
Good name for the show. Big in Bulgaria. Yeah.
I just lost the screen and then got it back. That was very odd.
It could be Big in Bulgaria. That's quite a good name for the show. Right, and anyway, I was thinking, what prompted me while we were thinking about names for the show today, which we have done for the last 3 or 4 days, because it's not easy picking a name. I was thinking about Musk at one point, right? Because I was looking at Twitter, because you know how Twitter's now called X by him and some other people, but generally everybody still calls it Twitter. And I thought, how much did he pay for X.com? Because that wouldn't have been available, right?
Well, no, it wouldn't have been available, so he would have had to have purchased it off the private owner.
Yeah, somebody made a killing there. Now, and then I thought, SpaceX. And then I thought, if Musk had been involved in naming Tesla, because he wasn't one of the founders. Despite what he tells you, he wasn't one of the founders, right? So if he'd been involved in naming Tesla, I suspect the company would have been called car X. Because the guy's obviously got an obsession with X.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
surprised
he
he
does.
hasn't
And he-
just called these kids X, XX, XXX. And you know what XXX is going to be when he grows up?
It was written in the stars, John.
Yeah.
Written in the stars.
Yeah,
Right,
so there you
news.
go.
Give me news.
News. Scotland had an event on Saturday called the Chain of Freedom.
I saw this. I saw this. So, who remembers Hands Across America? Hands Across America.
Yeah, that
Well,
went
they tried
as
to
well.
make a chain.
That didn't work.
Well, they
either,
tried
did
to
it?
make a chain of people from one coast to from the east coast to the west coast, right?
Yeah.
Well, they tried to do hands across Scotland, wasn't it? That's what it was.
Yeah, basically, they tried to make an unbroken chain across Scotland along the footpath of the Forth and Clyde Canal.
Did it work?
No.
Oh, by the way, the cause was pro-independence, hence the chain of freedom.
Yeah. So there were substantial gaps. There was an awful lot of very large flags being used to try and make up the gaps. There were complete stretches that were totally devoid of people. There was one guy standing in the middle of this stretch of the Forth and Clyde Canal, and if he panned to the left, there was nobody. If he panned to the right, there was nobody. He was there all on his Jack Jones. It was a shame.
You know, Andrew's just made a great point.
I don't think there were 25,000 people out there. I really don't.
No, first of all, I don't think there were 25,000 people out there. I agree. Second of all, had they actually said this is a socially distanced event and you'll all stand 6 feet apart, they might have made some distance. They may have. I mean, remember, this is in favour of the SNP, and the SNP are famously in. I mean, did you see their convention this weekend? I mean,
that's next. I mean, they're in free fall. I mean, the hall holds. I think the hall can hold 2,000. They said, right? Well, when I saw a picture or two of it, and I thought, you're lucky if they've got 100 people in there.
I agree.
Now the official.
You want to
Woo! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to Dreadeye. Bloody hell, that's very generous of you, Dreadeye. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you. No, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
We do.
Wow.
Got me.
No, that's got me. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much.
Right.
And
that's let that be an example to you people. Get out there, follow Dreadeye's lead. Get them, stick them while it's hot. Anyway, so Dreadeye had a good month. Well, we're having a good month as well now. So thank you very much, Dreadeye. Really appreciate it.
And I'm taking my children away on Sunday, so I'll take my half of that and turn it into euros. Thank you.
You're a sweet, sweet man. Anyway, as I was saying, so officially the attendance for the Scottish National Party's conference was 420. I don't think they made that.
Well, like I said, the SNP are fans of social distancing, and if you looked into the hall, you all the evidence you needed was right there.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody turned up. Nobody turned up at all to see Humza speak.
Yeah, exactly. And yet somebody turned up today and there was a lot more people there, wasn't there? Or was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday.
Who was it?
Chief Mammy.
Nicola.
Yeah, Nicola turned up.
She showed her face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm actually shocked she showed her face in public, to be honest.
They played a tribute to her on the big screen, and it looked almost at one point as if her facade was going to crack.
Were they playing one of them sizzle reels to I had the time of my life? What are you doing, John?
I was smoothing my beard out because it kind of looked a bit wrong. Yeah, there was no applause after Hamza's speech. I think I actually got a better reception from Hamza than Hamza got.
Well, I was going to say more people have now viewed Hamza than were in the room for Hamza.
I think so.
I think so.
So yeah, it's not going well. It's not going well for the SNP.
You are single-handedly, John. You are single-handedly propping up Hamza Yusuf in the top.
I think. I think. I think it's. I mean, they're still hanging on to this forlorn dream of independence. Remember, Nicola said there was dream of independence.
What?
Did you hear that?
Did I hear what?
Did you turn something on?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, you're still getting my desktop audio. Let me turn that off.
Yeah. Right, so...
There you go.
Thank you. So anyway...
Sorry about that.
Stop mucking around while you're on the show.
I was just checking the audio.
Yeah, badly. Anyway, so while Nicola did say there was going to be an independence referendum on the 19th of October, 2023. I don't think there is.
That's in 2 days.
Yeah, I don't think there is. I think they've
Are you
missed
going
that
to the
one.
polls, John? Are you going to the polls in 2 days?
No, we are not.
You're going to go vote?
No, we are not. So,
Are you
so
sure?
That said, Hamza's now on this. He's now on this mad crusade where if he wins the general election, now when he says general election, I'm assuming he means if he gets more seats than the
In
other
Westminster.
party. Well, no. He's not really talking about the general election. He's only talking about Scotland. Because if he gets more seats in Scotland than the rest of the parties, he's going to consider that a mandate to continue the fight for independence.
He's not going to get more seats.
No, I don't think
he's not. He's not going to get more seats. People have had enough of the SNP. People have had enough of the. They've had enough of, and I'm going to use the term woke. They've had enough of woke politics. They've had enough of identity politics, and they're seeing it's happening in real time. Your country is going to shit under the laws that are continually being enacted by the Scottish National Party, John.
Yeah, I know.
It's awful.
I know. So, yeah.
Apparently Miles Routledge is going to Glasgow in the coming days. Be awesome if you got a chance to speak to him. I don't think we will because he's on his way to see Andrew Tate, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't know who Miles Routledge is.
Put it this way. These sorts of people, they don't speak to the likes of us because we're little. We're little and tiny. We're an insignificant speck on the internet. And that's where you people come in. I see a bunch of you haven't hit the like button, and yes, I am offended. So let's get that. Let's get that increased, shall we?
Oh, right. NHS Wales has been cooking the books. Apparently, they've been caught out.
In what sense?
Well, what they've been saying is there are less people on the waiting list than there actually are. It's quite substantially higher than what they're saying. So they've been caught out for that, apparently.
Well, that doesn't shock me at all, because let's face it, thanks to the virus of unknown origin that we cannot name, well, I wouldn't even say thanks to that specifically, but thanks to the reaction to the virus of unknown origin that we cannot name, NHS waiting lists are to the point where many people are going to unnecessarily pass away. Now, it's got out of control. It's got really, really out of control. During that time, there were people not being treated for cancer. There were not people being treated for heart disease. There were not people being treated for lung disease, strokes, and everything.
Yeah.
And what did they think was going to happen? Because not only do those people, if they survived that period of time without their treatment, not only are they going to continue to need treatment, the next people with these issues that are up and coming still also need that treatment. And then what's going to happen is we've got this backlog. And this backlog is going to end up ultimately killing unnecessarily a whole bunch of people. This could have been wholly avoided. It could have been completely avoided. But We are where we are, and we can't turn back the clock. I wish we could. I really do, but we can't.
And while we're on the point of politics, the Conservative Party in Poland's been effectively ousted.
They have.
So they've lost their majorities. So it's going to be some kind of they've got way too many parties. I think they're going to have some kind of mad coalition, and it's. I don't think it's going to work. So we'll see what happens there. But you know what?
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, because Poland's been a standout in the EU for not taking something, and when I say something, I mean people. So Poland has been a standout for refusing to take these people, and we'll see what happens now, because and I'm not quite sure how this happened, because I thought generally the population were kind of behind the Conservative Party, so you just don't know what's going on, do you?
Well, Poland seem to be a very ultra-nationalist country.
Mm-hmm.
They know the evils of fascism. They know the evils of communism. Mm-hmm. They've been subjugated under the boot of both, and they seem to be of a never again style attitude when it comes to either ideology. So despite the fact that the Conservatives have been ousted, I really don't see any public appetite for certain things, shall we say.
Yeah. A couple of things there. Yes, it is Donald Tusk he hasn't kind of won. He's a kind of... Right. I don't think anyone's got an outright majority. That's the problem. So I think he's maybe got more, but I think they need to make a coalition to be able to govern. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, if Donald Tusk ends up governing, then they're probably going to end up opening their borders and the like. Let's face it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But the country themselves, the general public, there does seem to be this air of, like I say, ultra nationalism or nationalistic attitude. Maybe I'm seeing into a certain window and I'm not seeing the rest of it. I haven't actually been to Poland, and I will say I do intend to go to Poland in 2024. By the way, I do. I intend to go to Poland in 2024. I intend to see Auschwitz. I intend to see a couple of their new visitor attractions, shall we say. They've got the coaster capital of Europe.
You know, there's no roller coasters in
Poland.
In Auschwitz.
I never thought there would be, John. Okay. Jesus Christ. Let's just stick a fun park in Auschwitz, shall we? Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm just thinking of you. I'm just making sure you know what you're getting into. You know?
I know that's a rail track and not a coaster track, John. I'm aware.
Okay.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. And that's a horrible thing that Dreadi's saying, that his mate was 12 hours in an ambulance with a suspected heart attack. Man. And what happened to the golden hour? I thought if you didn't get seen within the golden hour, you were, that was the target, to get everyone seen in the golden hour.
Yeah, don't be silly. Don't be silly. Like I say, the NHS is crippled. It's on its knees, and the Tories have been selling it off bit by bit. Not just the Tories, though, because this began under Labour. Let's make no bones about any of it. PFI is where the selling off of the NHS began. Yeah. People need to understand it. It was New Labour, which really isn't Labour, is it? They're red Tories. Tony Blair's a red Tory.
Yeah.
And Keir Starmer is New Labour again. I guarantee you, behind the scenes with Keir Starmer or Keith or whatever you want to call him, Tony Blair is there. Tony Blair is behind. He's the one pulling the strings. This is New Labour all over again. And if people don't understand that, like I say, I can't help you, first of all. But second of all, what you do need to understand is New Labour is red Tories and nothing is going to change.
Yeah.
Oh, except a bit of an over-the-top hyperbolic headline. I don't know if you've got it on the list, but apparently and I'm gonna clear this up a little bit, because under Labour, apparently you're gonna end up with 2 years in prison for using the wrong pronoun. Right? Have you seen this, John?
I did see that headline, but I'm not convinced that there's basis behind it. But I may be wrong.
Well, I'll tell you what the basis behind it actually is, and it's.
Do you not have to deliberately use the wrong pronoun?
It's not even that, right? Like I say, it's been blown up a bit out of proportion. It does appear to be linked inextricably to violence. So, if a hate attack, so to speak, and if you've committed that violent act based upon, the discrimination against the pronoun or something like that, you get extra time, I guess, for a hate crime or something along those lines. But still wrong.
Yeah. Okay. I watched that movie last night. And is it appropriate for me to talk about it at this point in time?
I suppose so. We can bounce around.
Yeah, because the movie called Totally Killer.
I watched it as well the other day,
and I quite enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was quite mind-numbingly entertaining without having to think too much, and it did poke a little bit of fun at the wokeness, especially with inappropriate touch.
I mean, it didn't just poke fun; it was very overt, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I quite liked it.
She was woke,
and without spoilers, it's a kind of Scream meets Back to the Future, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And it referenced both those movies, isn't it?
They do. So Totally Killer is a new movie from Blumhouse. It has been released for free if you have a subscription on Amazon Prime Instant Video. It came out last Friday. I would agree with John that it's worth a watch. And once again, without spoiling anything, I did get a little bit bored in the middle.
Yeah, but that's because you're a millennial. I actually quite enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed the first act, and I really enjoyed the third act.
It didn't go hell for leather all the time, which is quite nice for a change. Because of the structure of what happened in the movie, there was supposed to be a certain amount of time pass, and they demonstrated that by time actually passing. Where they really didn't do that much, but I thought it kind of worked. I liked it.
Yes. So Emma, I've just responded to Emma in the chat there. Just use that link that I've stuck in the chat. But thank you once again.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate anybody that wants to support us and help out. We really do.
Yeah, we do.
But overall, though, Totally Killer, Amazon Prime, new movie from Blumhouse. I give it, we're going to give it a mark out of 10. I give it 7. Give it 7 out of 10. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'd probably give it 7.5, maybe. Yeah, I'll give it 7.5. Yeah. I did quite enjoy it. I wasn't 100% on. I wasn't 100% on the girl as the best character to play the character she played.
Yeah.
I think there are probably different actresses that could have played it better, but she was innocuous. Yeah. She was all right.
Yeah, no, like I say, I give it about 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, except for I could have cut about 20 minutes out of the second act. But other than that, give it a go. I'm actually going to, when I get back next week, so we're going to do the Friday night show next week. But next Saturday, I'm going to see a Blumhouse movie. I'm going to see Five Nights at Freddy's at the cinema, and I got my tickets the second that I could. I'm really looking forward to it. I really am.
Quite prolific, this Blumhouse brothers, aren't they?
Well, it is Michael, not Michael. It's Mr. What's his name? I know his name as well.
It's not Patrick.
Jason Blum.
Jason
Blum. So Jason Blum owns Blumhouse. They made the last 3 Halloween movies, the last 3 Michael Myers movies. They've lost the contract to make any more. And that contract is now reverted to Miramax of all companies.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. I think they're kind of doing well. I really do.
Oh, I think so too. Emma Watt just says block or report.
What does? No.
Oh, so copy the link and put it in your browser and paste into a new window. That should work. Or someone else in the chat, Adam, could you help Emma Watts out, please? Thank you.
I'm just checking to make sure that everything's okay with coffee, but Adam just used it. Yeah, so you go to coffee, right? And you go to down where it says either join on the right hand side.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you can do that.
Okay.
Or you can go, so there's the button at the top that says one, in fact, I should probably...
Let the guys in the chat, sort it out and we'll continue on with the show.
There's two buttons at the top. One says membership and one says one time.
Yeah,
membership.
Like I say, let the guys in the I'm sure the guys in the chat can help out. Let's continue with the show.
Oh, I don't think I'm allergic to work. It's not me that's allergic to work. Has it been?
Well, it depends on the day.
Uh-huh. Anyway. Right, where are we?
Where are we? Yes, come on, let's get on. Let's go. Let's move.
So I see things seem to be going along nicely with the latest episode. And the Arma 3's been called into use again.
Again. Arma 3, ladies and gentlemen, has been called into use for the last one I saw, because I've seen Arma 3 used more than once now.
Oh yeah.
In this current so the video game Arma 3. The latest one I saw was people pretending there was a laser iron dome being used.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're on about?
Yeah.
So people going, look, it's a laser iron dome above Israel. They're using lasers to shoot out the rockets. No, that's a video game. That's a video game. Okay?
Yeah. It's pretty bizarre. It really is.
You need to be so careful, guys and girls. You need to be so careful, especially when you look at, and I'll name a few people who I really think are extremely dubious. One of them is Jackson Hinkle on X. I think he's extremely dubious. I think Stu Peters is really dubious. I think Dom Luca is extremely dubious.
GB News?
Well, GB News are... they are what they are.
They've got to jump the shark. Have you seen what's on them? What's that girl's name?
Bev Turner.
What? No. The one, the darker version. Nana
Akua.
That's her, right?
Yeah.
She said something about loosing when she meant losing. That's a basic...
She was reading
She meant to be a journalist.
However, remember, these people at GB News, a lot of the time they are reading off the teleprompter. They are reading off the teleprompter, and it's the same as the President of the United States. Whoever controls the teleprompter controls the broadcast.
Loosing. It's just wrong.
I mean, I don't get spelling right all of the time, usually because of my fat thumbs.
But loosing. It's like... Yeah. I'm going to lose the plot with these people that are loosing their brain. It's like, I'll just take my brain out, let it go for a walk down the road. Oh, I've lost it. It's loosed. I have loosed it.
Are you sure, John? Did you ever have it to begin with, John?
Well, there's always that. Rebel
there is
News,
always that.
You got to be very careful with Rebel News at this point in time, don't you?
Well, it's the same. It's the same with the Rebel News and the Daily Wire have an implicit bias, right? And I'm not gonna knock into them. I'm not gonna lay into them, so to speak. But you have to remember they have an implicit bias because they are both very much run by Jewish people. So, and I'm not gonna say that's a bad thing. I'm just gonna tell you they have picked a side. They will pick a side because they have a stake in the game, so to speak. I mean, Ben Shapiro was in Israel, I think, 2 days before this happened. and
Yeah.
just got back. Some of his team stayed behind and was still there when this happened. So they have skin in the game, so to speak.
They do indeed.
We don't have skin in the game.
No, we don't.
And that's why. Do you know what I've offered to do? Actually, speaking about misinformation and disinformation, I've made an offer. I've extended an offer because somebody that calls themselves Concerned Citizen on X got quite a big following. Called Brent Lee out for a debate. Right? Called Brent Lee out for a debate.
Uh-huh.
You know who Brent Lee is. Brent Lee came on the show beforehand.
Yeah.
And Brent Lee appears to have agreed to this debate. Okay. And asked for a moderator.
Okay.
Who's offered to moderate?
You have.
And he's liked the tweet, so he's obviously not unhappy about it. But the thing is, you guys know me. I'll call out misinformation and bullshit from either of them, and I will.
Yeah.
So, if they want me to do it, I'm more than happy to do it because there is misinformation and there is bullshit coming out of Twitter, left, right, and center. And all I'm going to say to you is, it comes from people a lot of the time that you may have agreed with on stuff, on lots of stuff, but they are.
Yeah, I've noticed there's a lot of division. See while there was division in the last conflict, the one that is still going on, right? But has been pushed to the side because there's a new, more interesting conflict ongoing. While there was division there, that's nothing compared to the division we're now getting, because it seems to be that if you don't come down on one side or the other, then you are insert appropriate, slur against someone here.
Yeah.
Which is it's. And the thing is, it's a difficult thing to report on. It's a difficult thing to report on without falling foul of, should we say, platforms' terms of service.
I agree. I'll tell you what I will say, and I will continue to say, is that I condemn the deaths of civilians on both sides of any conflict, on all sides of any conflict, because these are just normal people, men, women, and children who want to get on with their lives and have nothing to do with it. Now, personally speaking, I still think that my solution is the best solution to all of these conflicts, because they're always, let's call it what it is, a penis swinging exercise between two leaders, usually, who have some kind of quarrel and have some kind of debate and disagreement. So put them in a boxing ring, stream it on YouTube or stream it on DAZN and charge $12.99 and solve it that way. Let's stop getting people killed, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But you know what? Every last one of these leaders, they're pansies, they're pussies, and then...
Right, okay. It's not the leaders, right? It's everything that goes around these things, because war's really good for making money.
Of course it is.
The military-industrial complex makes a lot of money out of this. They don't spend... they don't spend billions of dollars every year inventing all these weapons to not use them. They've got to keep replacing them because they'll have expiry dates on them, and then they've got to pay to get rid of them and all this. So the whole thing becomes really expensive if you're not using them appropriately. So this is kind of where the military-industrial complex goes. But I think with this particular conflict, I think we've got a bit of an issue here in that the way that a certain country has approached it, and this is the country where one cannot, under any circumstances, criticise them. The way they have approached it is leading to the point where everyone in that area who isn't with that country, which is everyone in that area, and even though they don't like their neighbours, right? For instance, Saudi Arabia doesn't like Iran, Iraq's still a vassal state of the US, but they don't like either. So everyone that doesn't like this other country is now coming together and ganging up and basically taking a unified approach to what's happening. And this leaves a big problem, because you don't want a war in a major scale. And then when Mr. Biden goes and sends not one, but 2 carrier battle groups into the Eastern Med, right? You know,
he's going, isn't he? He's going himself. He's flying there.
I think he's there. I think he's there already. I think he's arrived. I think he arrived early. But anyway, but the other thing is there are 2 carrier battle groups sitting in the Eastern Med now, right?
Yes, there are. And we're sending some.
No, we're sending 2 ships.
Yeah.
One of which is a Royal Fleet Exhilarating, which is a support vessel, so not a warship, okay? So I don't know what the other ship is, but the one that's the RFA one is the HMS Argus, I think, or HMAS Argus. So the problem is, all it takes is someone to get hold of a hypersonic missile, and I think Iran could probably have 1 or 2 of them, right? And see if you take out a carrier. That's there's 5,000 people on an aircraft carrier. 5,000 people. That's more than, just to put that in perspective, that's more than died on 9/11 and the Twin Towers.
Oh yeah. But have you not seen some of the new posters that have been going up in Iran? Showing off their hypersonic missiles and showing how quickly they can reach Tel Aviv.
Yeah, so see, this is the problem.
Yeah.
So I think that, and the thing is, it appears, and I think Amy has gone. I don't know why, but I was hoping she would hang around, because it appears, from what I'm hearing from my sources, is that 5.56 ammunition has dried up in the States. You can't get it anymore. I
could drop her a message and ask her.
Well, you could, So apparently 5.56 is just not available. It's all, the price went through the roof and then it just disappeared. So 5.56 is used by all the modern weapons that would be used by the US military. And apparently the Pentagon have issued ready to deploy orders to the army. So it looks like they're going to be sending people somewhere. So it's just a question of how fast this takes off and how big it grows, because I don't think it's finished yet.
Okay.
Russia at the UN Security Council put forward a motion for there to be a ceasefire and a humanitarian aid corridor opened.
So guess where Vladimir Putin is right now?
Could he be in Syria? No?
He's in Beijing.
Oh, he's in Beijing. Oh, dear.
He's meeting with his good friend Xi Jinping right now.
Christ. Well, that's what I was going to come on to in a minute. I didn't realise he was there already. But so Russia put forward a proposal, and there were 4 countries that voted against the proposal to the UN to open a humanitarian aid corridor and offer aid to a certain state or non-state. But anyway, the 4 countries that voted against that were the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, which all 3 of those we can understand, and France.
Let me throw a little curveball here into everybody's psyche, because there is a country that exists called Egypt, and that country has a border with Gaza. So you can move directly from Gaza into Egypt via the Sinai Desert, right? Egypt are not allowing humanitarian aid through that border.
Yep.
And you don't see anybody criticizing them.
Yeah,
you see nobody criticizing them.
Yeah, I know, because you can't criticize people when they're not doing something that would be detrimental to that that group of people that cannot be castigated under any circumstances.
Yeah. Okay. So, also, I want to ask a question here, and this is just a philosophical question. Or I don't know if it's philosophical, but we keep seeing these statements: Israel are committing war crimes, especially with the idea of turning off the power and turning off the water. Okay. Now, in a usual circumstance, and this is I just can't get my head around this, because it's not often that the supplier of that water and power is the enemy. So Israel are the suppliers of the water and power to Gaza.
Yeah.
They provide it all.
Yeah.
Right? They generate it, they treat it, they provide
Well,
it.
they don't necessarily generate it all, because Gaza does have its own power station.
Well, then if it's got its own power stations, then what Israel done is completely pointless.
No, Israel cut off the supply of fuel. They ran out of fuel. I mean, the power station.
But who supplies?
The power
who
station,
supplies the fuel?
Well, the fuel has to come in. It doesn't matter who supplies the fuel. It's the path it's got to take to get there. And that's the problem, because everything comes through Israel. It doesn't come through Egypt. Egypt doesn't have anything to do with them.
It's just okay. I agree that collective punishment absolutely should not be taken. First of all, I just don't know where legally Israel will stand on this situation, because they are the ones that provide the stuff.
It's there's really there's little point in discussing it at this point in time, right? Because you need to wait until it plays out to a degree, okay? And also you just end up falling foul of censorship and things like that, because these things.
But
these things.
I'm not making an assertion. First of all.
Yeah, I know you're not.
I'm simply asking a question, because.
You know what? Sometimes that's all you need to do. Ask a question, and boom, big hammer comes down.
Yeah. The point I'm making here is, I see the condemnation on Twitter. I see the condemnation from pundits and
yeah, but
pundits
you get on both sides.
But no. My point is this: I am not seeing condemnation from the international, at least Western community, for the action that Israel has taken.
Yeah, well, you won't. Why would you?
And
because they're only defending themselves.
I'm not so sure that cutting off the water and power is defending yourself.
No, now you're making assertions.
I'm not so sure it is.
Now you are making assertions.
Yeah, but I am making an assertion, but I think I'm comfortable in making that assertion. I don't think cutting the water and power off the 2 million people, 50% of whom are children, is defending yourself. Sorry, I don't.
Okay.
That is my assertion, and I'm comfortable making that. So, yeah. It's a sticky situation, and like you said at the beginning of this spot, if something doesn't give and something doesn't give soon, this is the way we find ourselves in a world war. This is how we find ourselves in a world war. Joe Biden sent 2,500 Marines. He didn't just
to where?
Send to Israel.
Did he?
Yeah, yesterday or the day before, 2,500 Marines deployed to Israel.
Okay.
It seems to me that this situation, more than the other one, the West is chomping at the bit to put boots on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels very different. It feels very different.
Well, of course it is, because America's had some experience in the area.
Of course they have.
Should we just leave it at that?
We should, and let's move on.
Well, Israel has refused little Vlad permission to come and visit them.
Yeah, they have. So Vladimir Zelensky has indeed requested to come and see them, and they said,
"Not a good time.
Not a good time right now." But Rishi, like was just said in the chat, and I just saw her on Twitter. Rishi's on his way there.
Mm-hmm. Biden's already there.
on his way there.
Or if not already there, but yeah.
But Zelensky, well, they said, nah. It's okay, little Vlad. You're okay. Don't need to come. You've got your own troubles to worry about. You just stay over there. But of course, because it's bad optics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it is just bad optics, because it makes it seem...
Well, they don't want to be. They don't want to bring little Vlad back into the view because, let's face it, they don't want to give him any more money.
Well, no, they don't. Nobody wants to give him any more money.
And this is right. So this is the problem that I see for America at the moment. Right.
Right.
As you have this ongoing conflict in Central Europe, right, with little Vlad and Big Vlad, right? Now you have this conflict in the Middle East, in which has suddenly escalated beyond what anyone thought was possible, right? Because people didn't think that Hamas could do such a thing. They didn't think they had the capability, the arms, and the training.
This didn't take 2 weeks to plan. Put it that way.
No, this is a well thought out and longly planned operation that
of course,
been meticulously planned. I think in some respects, it's not something they just decided to do instead of going shopping that day. So so that's two, right? And then we've now got Big Vlad meeting Chief Panda, right? And all they need now is what happens if they open a third theatre, right? Can America watch 3 shows all at the same time? I don't think. I think they'd be struggling to see. I think America's struggling to do 2 at the same time.
They're certainly struggling to fund 2.
Well, that's what I mean, because it's all about money and weapons and.
Well, they're voting on an aid package, I believe, right now to include both Ukraine and Israel.
Yeah. So I think they're struggling. I don't think they've got the capability, and I think if a third theatre, I mean, you know what sharks are like when they start circling the water and they smell the blood. They'll start to come in for a closer look and they'll think, maybe I just...
And eventually it's all over, baby.
It doesn't need to be a big action, but if something happens, even just a little thing, the hegemon's got to act, it's got to project its power, it's got to show that it's still a force to be reckoned with. And the question is it? Is it? So this is, I think, it's a very dangerous time. Very dangerous.
I think it's a very dangerous time for the entire planet.
Yeah.
Especially trying to reopen, trying to reopen theatres of war in the Middle East, first of all, because at the end of the day, especially when it comes to the United States of America, many countries in the Middle East are still mortally wounded. They are still angry. They are pissed off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do, Andrew. I can't think they would be talking about anything else at this point in time.
Yeah.
I don't think China want to do it that way, but I think Xi is a ruthless character, and never underestimate him. And I think if he thinks that there's a chance of giving, Uncle Sam a good bloody nose, then I think he might take action, in a small way that wouldn't provoke a major outburst, but just show America how stretched it actually is and how much it can't respond if something's going
correct me
awry.
if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because I would like to respond to Adam quickly here. He says, I wonder if Steven Seagal will be visiting Israel. But correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he banned from most places in Ukraine?
Who's Steven Seagal?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really.
Because he's Putin's friend, isn't he? He loves Russia. Yeah, Putin's friend. He's an honorary citizen.
Who cares?
He's an honorary citizen. He's an ambassador of some kind.
Okay. Anyway, so speaking of Ukraine, they attacked an airfield last night, and it appears that they used this an ATAC, the ATACMS thing that America has provided to them, apparently. So apparently they got these in August. Now, these are short-range ballistic missiles.
Okay.
So the American, I think, not the American, the Russian air defense system, the S-300 and S-400 are very good, but they got through it and took out an airfield. So I think there will be a period where the Russians have to adapt to this new method, and it's maybe given Ukraine a bit of a breathing space, but I don't think it's changing the actual outcome. But there's a lot going on in Ukraine just now that you're not being told about, because Russia is pushing quite heavily.
Well, it's not just that. We are. If you look at the news, look at your mainstream news right now, and tell me where the news stories on Russia and Ukraine have gone. They're gone. It's gone.
Yeah, it has.
So you are being told by the mainstream media, look over here now. This thing's, shiny and pretty, or horrific, as the case may be, for real. But it's, look over here. Be outraged about this now. Consume this thing. Current thing. Just don't question. Just do as you're told. That thing that we told you to look at for the last year, don't bother looking at that no more. It doesn't matter, despite the fact it hasn't wrapped up or resolved. Okay, that's over there. You don't need to worry about that anymore. Over here now, here's the new shiny thing. And it's so two-dimensional how people's attention is diverted from one situation to the next, to the next, to the next. And, it frustrates me. It does. It frustrates me.
Well, I mean, it's 24-hour news cycle. You've got to fill it up with something. And you've got you've got to keep people fresh, You can't keep giving them the same old sausage. You've got to give them something different. Got to titillate their taste buds. Speaking of titillating your taste buds, Jim Jordan didn't get enough votes to make it to the Speaker. And someone else has been thrown in the ring, apparently.
Who's that?
Some Republican has nominated George W. Bush. Old W.
Marjorie Taylor Greene said she was going to nominate Donald Trump. Did that ever happen?
I don't think so, but George W.'s apparently been nominated.
Do you know, if another theatre of war opens up in the Middle East and W is suddenly third in line for the presidency?
Oh, wow.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Right. No, I don't know anything about football beats. Sorry.
No, I don't know anything about football either. I apologise if you guys come here for sports news. We don't. I'll give you some sports news. Logan Paul beat Dylan Dennis. There you go.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
There's some sports news for you.
Right, speaking of sport, young Greta got herself arrested in London today.
What's she pretending to do this time?
She was protesting at some oil summit or something.
Yeah, but let's face it, Greta Thunberg's arrests, quote unquote, are just photo opportunities. That's all they are.
Yeah, I know.
I like to go to countries and get the police to arrest me, and for some reason they let me stop and take pictures.
And then they let her go, usually without charge. Yeah.
Yeah, usually let her go without charge. Off you go, Greta. Off you go.
Guess who's getting charged?
Who's getting charged?
Again? Alec Baldwin.
Who? What, for the Rust thing?
Yeah. Involuntary manslaughter charges are coming up against him again.
Right.
So there you go.
At the end of the day, and people can disagree with me all they like, but yes, the armor has the ultimate responsibility with the weapons, okay? Or the armorer.
Uh-huh.
They're the ones that provide the weapon. But those weapons, Emma Watts, did we receive a donation?
Well, not through Ko-fi. No.
The alarm hasn't gone off.
No. Nope.
You check it on Ko-fi in a bit.
I've checked it.
But
it's not there.
Okay. But anyhow, I ultimately, that weapon goes through a chain of custody.
Yeah.
And everyone in that chain of custody has the responsibility to check to make sure it's safe. And that includes the last point of call, which is Alec Baldwin himself. It was in his hand. He pulled the trigger. And, you know, actors do, when they're handling weapons on set, they do go through this sort of training. And they do get told and taught and told, ultimately, you are the one responsible. And I'm sorry if people don't like it.
They do and they don't. Having been,
you know,
having been an actor that was issued with a firearm on a set.
But were you issued with a real firearm?
Yeah, it was a shotgun. And I suppose there was a degree of training from the armourer that was on set.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that thorough. And the thing is, most of the people there were familiar with firearms, either ex-services or ex-police. So we did have good knowledge of them. And we did check that they were cleared before we received them.
Emma Watch, yes, indeed. I have received your donation via Stripe. Thank you for the $5. We very much appreciate it.
Is that a Patreon one?
Very much appreciate it. Well, it's via Stripe, so I'm not sure what platform that's come through.
It must have come through Patreon, I think.
But yes,
anyway,
I shall receive it on the 24th of October, so thank you very much.
Yes, it was a sawn-off indeed, Mr. Jungle Griffin. That was in the movie Redcon 1.
Redcon 1. Do not watch it. It is a pile of shite. It's terrible.
My bike gets more airtime than I did.
It does. Yeah. It is a... I felt dumber for having watched that movie.
It was bad, wasn't it? There was no...
terrible.
There was no coherent storyline to it at all.
Did they pay you, at least?
No. They
didn't pay you.
All they did was feed us.
And they didn't credit you.
No, they didn't credit me, but all they did was feed us.
Dude, you got a raw deal.
Yeah. Well,
you got such a raw deal.
We're just mucking around. I mean, they basically contacted the club and said, we're looking for some bikers to play a biker gang in a movie that's getting made in Glasgow. Do you want to come down and have a look and see what you think? And we were there for a day, and that was it.
Well, fair enough. And I see you walking around in the background with your shotgun.
Yeah.
He gets his 2 seconds of airtime. There he is. He's walking around with his face paint on, holding his sawn off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not worth watching the entire movie just to see that.
You can see no, it wasn't worth it. You can see the face paint in one of the pre-rolls. Is it all in? Is it all in that one? Or is it Ruthless?
Could well be.
I think
it could well be.
I think it's in all in.
So yeah,
anyway.
Despite the fact Johnny's in it, I do not recommend Redcon 1. I'm sorry, but I just don't.
It's awful. We did a review.
Right, John, have you got anything more light-hearted for us to end the night?
I don't have well, actually, that's me kind of finished. There wasn't a... Hey, I looked. I know you said there was a lot of news. There wasn't really a lot of news.
I mean, it's mostly about bloody Israel, isn't it? Yeah. It really is.
Well, yeah, I mean, the news
that is the news.
Yeah, the news is... I mean, I'm struggling to find other stuff.
And whilst we try our best to try and make things upbeat on these shows, how the hell can you do so when the news is so damn bad?
Yeah,
it's just so bad.
It is bad. It's very bad.
Very bad. Really, really bad. Right. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed the show, then please do not forget to leave a like. If you've not subscribed to the channel already, then please do. And if you can go further and help us and support us, you can do so at the links in the pinned comment, which is Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent, or Patreon, which is patreon.com/Chasing Dissent. Or you could become a channel member right here on YouTube just by clicking that join button. and becoming a refugee of Theodora. So,
Oh.
John.
They got the guy in Belgium. They arrested him.
Oh, thank God. I mean, I didn't want to talk about that because I didn't know how to cover that without bloody maybe falling foul of censorship.
Yeah, I don't know who
See,
he
this
is
is
yet, but I know he's been arrested.
This is the problem, isn't it, boys and girls? You know,
It's crazy.
we are fighting censorship.
I mean, we had a meeting this morning because, as you know, we were talking about rebranding, and I'm saying, look, maybe we should just concentrate on rabbit hole stuff.
Maybe.
It's less stressful.
Who knows?
And then Ben said,
Well, of course it's
but
less
there are
stressful.
a small group of people that rely on us to provide them with the news.
There are. And they enjoy it. And you enjoy it. And we enjoy you.
He actually talks like that.
I sing your guys' praises. I do. I sing your guys' praises all the time.
Because I'm like, let's just play cat videos. We'd make more money.
Oh, we definitely would. We definitely would.
Not with your cat. Sorry, too soon. Too soon.
No.
Come back. He does this all the time. I don't know why. Because we all know that he's not really in a huff. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for attending this episode 261 of Chasing Dissent Live with me, John, and with the blank screen, formerly known as Ben. It's been great, as always, for you.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build